What's up, everybody? I'm Albert Fig. Welcome back to another episode of the Hypocritical AF podcast. And man, what a week. What a week. We had the first official episode and the launch of episode 1 with Olivia on Monday. And realistically, the whole launch of the entire project, So that one came out on the 1st. Getting a lot of positive feedback from it and a lot of support. And I want to thank you guys, man. I really appreciate all the reposts, all the shout outs, all the engagements with everything on all platforms, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, and even checking out the website, man. I want to really give you guys a thank you from me personally. All this stuff is predicated on all that feedback, and it's going good so far. You know what I mean? I've got a lot of positive feedback, and I've gotten a lot of constructive criticism that I've definitely taken in and taking it with stride. So anything you guys think would help out and benefit the podcast, and anything that would help it advance it in general, send me a message, reach out, don't be afraid. Definitely want to take constructive criticism well. Not everybody would say that, but I think I do. So yeah, finally getting the ball rolling with all this, man. And it's exciting. I'm really happy that I was able to get all this going literally at the projected start date. I was talking about this back in September. I wanted to get the projected start date was December 1st, and to meet that deadline and actually start everything on time with all systems go, man, it's like relief off the shoulders. Not everything is fully ready as far as being able to stream on all platforms. I know we're good on Apple, we're good on iTunes, and I know we're good on Spotify, Google Play Music, and Stitcher. I didn't realize the process it takes to do all of this. You have to get approved from a bunch of different places and a bunch of different streaming platforms before it actually gets approved on their feeds. So I think I'm not 100% sure if we're fully approved on Pandora yet, but we're waiting on Pandora, we're waiting on Amazon Music, and we're waiting on iHeartRadio. So once those are all out there, then it'll for sure be readily available on all streaming platforms. The YouTube is up and running. The YouTube is good. I'm planning on having the weekly episodes, the full-length weekly episodes on there, as well as highlighted clips that I'm going to be pushing out on Twitter and pushing out on Instagram. So just keep your eyes open for all that stuff, man. It's all part of the process, This project itself, in general, is, man, it's something that definitely takes time. You know what I mean? And being a one-man show, I'm having to record both audio and video, and edit and post-production and upload across like 4 different social media platforms, and then the YouTube, and then the website. So it's if everything doesn't come out the best quality, I apologize. We're still kind of working through the kinks of everything, and I'm still learning all this on the go. I'm not a professional fucking editor. I'm not an engineer. I'm not a producer. But I guess after doing all this and at the end of all this, I'm pretty sure I have that title. But it doesn't mean I want to do the shit. Like, I don't want to be a producer, and I don't want to be an editor and all that stuff. But, for the time being, for all this, I kind of have to while I'm hosting all this. So with that being said, too, if you are an editor, producer, engineer, or some type of content creator, you know what I mean, and you want to hit me with some gems and give me some advice, or even, possibly collaborate on a few things, just reach out to me. I'm always down. So there's that. But man, I had a few... I wanted to talk about a few things too. I had a few people that reached out to me specifically about the title, and still was just like asking me like, so what's the gist of all this? Or so what is this going to be about? Like, how serious is this? So I kind of want to just answer a few of those questions. To expand a little more on the title, Hypocritical AF, it stems from a lot of things, but specifically it's actually a callback to myself. I'm actually calling out my own shit, and I'm making fun of myself. And it's actually a double entendre. Hypocritical AF is also my initials, AF, Albert Figueroa. But hypocritical as fuck comes from back in the day, growing up, I don't know, I would say from 16 to 21. I guess I can't really use that argument, but 16, where I was at 16, 18, 20, 21, where I used to think, what I used to say, the things I say I wouldn't do, or I would never do this, or I can't see myself doing this, or thinking like, certain ways or whatever the hell. Back then, I used to think like being optimistic for a lot of things, or if a person was like, oh, nice, or a person was just like a good person in general. I used to think, yo, something's fishy with them. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know, I don't like them. Why are they so nice? Why are they so optimistic? What does everything have to be so happy? Why are they always like this? You know what I mean? And as I got older, I just realized, hey, they're just good people. Like, it's okay to be a nice person. It's okay to be optimistic. It's okay to be to not be rude. It's okay to be cordial. It's okay to, be optimistic instead of pessimistic. So I'm learning all that as I get older. I mean, you can credit that to growth. But I'd always back in the day say, yo, I'm not trying to be like that, or I'm not that, or I don't trust this and that. And now, as I get older, I find myself being more towards that, being more optimistic, being more of a nice person, and upbeat for a lot of this stuff. You know what I mean? So stuff like that, right? Or even back in the day, I used to be like, man, people on the internet and all these people on social media, or these people on YouTube doing all this and that, or people that are just doing all this and that. I used to make fun of them, right? I used to be like, oh, I can never see myself doing that. I can never see myself being like, hey, subscribe to my YouTube. What's up? Hit that notification bell, all that stuff, right? So I used to make fun of people doing that stuff. And now here I am, fast forward 10 plus years, doing that right now, asking you to hit that subscribe button and that like and that follow and the share and all that stuff. So I'm calling myself out for a lot of this stuff. And it's actually encouraging people to, kind of take that hypocritical AF approach with them. You know what I mean? It's all about growth, And I think that the more and more people that I bring on and the more and more listens that we get, I think people in themselves, as they come on here, they'll kind of learn that it's okay to be hypocritical and find that amongst themselves, and when they might not even know it, right? So that's the root of hypocritical AF. Also, just like the AF, because my initials, but that's another thing. But so that's the whole root of that. And as far as the concepts with this goes, man, like it's launched, it's official. It's an official thing, like I'm really serious about this, and I want to get in a repetition mode to push this out every week. Like I said in the first intro episode, you're going to have solo ones like this. You're going to have some with guests. You're going to have some where it's like really quick, and some that are long, some that might be like funny, like more comedic types, to more serious, in-depth conversations about topics and subjects, and getting to know a person at the root cause. So I like to keep it a mix of everything. You know what I mean? I listen to a bunch of podcasts myself. I'm subscribed to a bunch of them before I even started my own, and I kind of like picked apart the good and the bad from all of them, and I got an idea of how I just thought to myself, like, how would I do my own? You know what I mean? Or how would I host my own, or what would I talk about on my own podcast? So I kind of just been getting all that, cooking it up, brewing it, you know what I mean? And I came up with this. So, one of the biggest or most important advice that I got from this, or a takeaway from other people that have talked about it in the past, was saying that just be yourself, be authentic. It's easy to mimic and copy other podcasts or use the same structure, or even look at other ones and compare, you know what I mean? And that's really the wrong approach, you know what I mean? Because you really do have to be authentically and truly yourself, you know what I mean? So find your own groove, find your own podcast, find your own setup, you know what I mean? And that's kind of what I'm doing. Well, not kind of, that's realistically what I'm doing right now. So the concept with all this is going to be a weekly episode, some solos, some with guests, ranging from everywhere. Some of them might just be friends that I have on that are really close, we're just talking, and we might forget that we're recording. We might forget that there's a microphone and a camera in front of us, you know what I mean? And the conversations might go in all kinds of crazy different directions, and all kinds of stories. And I'll try not to be too much conversation dominant and interrupt them a lot. I'll try, but I'm a talker, man. I get it from my grandpa, man. And if you guys all know my grandpa from back home, you'll know that he's one talkative guy, you know what I mean? And I feel like it's good and bad. It's good if you know him, and it's good for him because he likes to talk. But it's bad when you go grocery shopping with him, and he's at the Safeway for like toilet paper and milk, and it's been 25 minutes and we're all in the car, like, what the fuck is grandpa doing? Like, you know what I mean? Like, what? It's been 25 minutes, and you go in there and you see him. He's just talking to the cash register. He's talking to the bagging person, or he's talking to like the manager, like giving him all your info. And then it's like, oh, yeah, that's what he's doing. You know, so good and bad with everything. But I feel like I get a lot of that from him. But yeah, so that's the concept behind all this, man. Hopefully that answers those questions for the people that have reached out to me and asked about that. But I'm just happy, man. It's an exciting time. This week in general has flown by, and it's in a good way. You know what I mean? It's flown by in a good way, and keeping busy with all this stuff. You know, and I want to put emphasis on all this too. Is that as you see this, you know, forming and shaping every week, and as you see all this playing out and edited and on a bunch of different scales, just understand that I still work full time. Right. Like I'm a full-time employee, you know what I mean? And on top of that, I'm a dad, you know, I'm a parent. And it's like when you mix doing that full-time and being a parent full-time and doing this, I mean, there's not enough hours in the day, you know, but I'm, you know, getting it done on the post-production side and on this and on the hosting side. So just bear with the process of everything. And yeah, just hope you can come along for the journey. But yeah, so this week, man, first week of December in the books, which is, you know, crazy to say, first week of December in the books. Christmas is just around the corner, and literally a few days after that, we're in 2021, you know? So this, you know, this time has just been flying, and all this whole 2020 is just, you know, take it with a grain of salt. You know, you have some people that can say, you know, fuck 2020. Some people say like 2020 wasn't so bad, you know. I don't know how I can't really say, you know, I can't say fuck 2020 because, you know, the birth of my son, he was born this year on 2020. So it's tough for me to say fuck 2020, but I can understand in general how it wasn't the best of years. You know what I mean? So I just think we all need to take the lessons that we learned from 2020 and put it into 2021. And that's everybody as a whole in society, in the country. And I think, you know, especially with the elections back in November, there was a lot of dividends and a lot of people that are on this side or fighting, you know what I mean? And I mean, that comes with, you know, with elections in general. And I get that. And I know a lot of people don't want to talk about politics, which I can get to. But if we could just kind of put this 2020, the bad things in our back pocket and just focus on the good things and I guess it's tough to say the good things. If you had a shitty 2020, I'm sorry. If you had a good one, cool. But just kind of take the grain of salt and kind of the pros and cons of 2020 and take it into 2021. I know for me personally, 2021 is exciting. I'm excited for these new things I'm working on, these new projects, and just getting a fresh, clean slate, essentially, you know, in 2021. You know, and I think a lot of people have to take that too into 2021 is that, you know, we can't really, we've, you know, you kind of have to, what's the word I'm looking for? You kind of have to buckle down. Is that the right word? I don't know if that's the right word. But 2021, you have to stay grounded, man. You got to find out what's important, what works for you. And you have to just make shit happen. You know what I mean? So, I mean, at least that's my approach with everything going into 2021. But yeah, so just wanted to give a quick little weekly update with this. This is a solo one. Solo ones I think I'm gonna keep short because I don't even like listening to myself talk for that long. So I could just imagine I mean, it's better with the guests, and they're gonna be intermittently changing, man. So yeah. So just wanted to say again, you know, thank you to everybody for all the help, all the support, and all the love that I've been getting, man. It's appreciated. And if I could give some advice to you guys right now, I would say whatever you want to do, you know, it sounds, you know, cliche, but whatever you want to do, right? As long as you put your best foot forward, put the time in, don't cut no corners, say something and mean it and do it. In other words, bend the grass. Ooh, which actually, there's this word There's something. One of the things that I someone said, I forget where I got it from. This isn't mine. I'm not. I didn't originate it. It's something that I definitely copied. But one saying and a slogan that stick with me that I think I should share with you guys is: say what you mean what you say, and don't say it mean. I'm gonna repeat that. Say what you mean what you say, and don't be mean when you say it. Follow that, and that's gonna be my week little or phrase of the week. I hope that doesn't turn into a thing because I'll run out of stuff really quick. But anyway, yeah. Thank you for listening to another episode of the Hypocritical AF podcast. I'm Albert Fig. Catch you next week. Peace.